Welcome back to the Comic Book ASM Artist. Today we're going to be doing another comic book haul. And first off, I just want to say, guys, if you have a pull box, clean it out at least once a month. Because I made the mistake of letting this stuff sit. This is from my secondary shop near my work. It puts strain on the shops. Don't let it happen if you can keep it from happening. So, but yeah, so we'll show off these books, and then I've got some collectibles, and then we'll show off my other stuff too. So, first off, we got Pirate Queen #1 from Bad Idea. And as always, great cover presentation. We've got the matte-on spot gloss mixed cardstock. I was flipping through this a little bit. I noticed a bit of graphic elements to it, so I can't show too much. And I try to be mindful of that. But yeah, there's actually two different stories in here that I wasn't aware of when I bought it, so let me show you the second. So yeah, there's a second story in here, right here. Looks kind of like futuristic, so at first when I was flipping through it, I thought it was part of the same story. And I was like, wait, was all the pirate stuff a simulation? So, but it wasn't. Next off, we have Monster Kill Squad #1 from Bad Idea. Gonna see quite a few Bad Idea books here out of the gate. Which, yeah, I just did the all-in where I get any book they put out. So, that's a cool little pencil drawing there. But, yeah, so I got pretty much any book they put out that is, sold in the store. I have the shop hold for me, so, because they are so exclusive. As I've said before, Bad Idea books are only sold in about 100 or so comic shops, maybe 150, but I know it's not that many, so. And then they finally broke news with the button, which whenever you are the first customer at your shop to buy whatever the launch title is for that day, you can get a button. And I had the one for when ENIAC #1 came out. And basically you're going to trade in your button for random things. First up, if you only have one button, basically you can only use it. It counts as like a coin, more or less. So they just put out two things you could get with it. One comic, I think it's just called Werewolves or something. And then there was another book too. But basically, if you only have one pin, you have to choose between which one you want to get. But basically, they're going to make the prizes crazier and crazier and make you regret caving and getting, anything really. So, so this book here, this is passive aggressive. What's fun with this is the covers on both are the same, but there's actually two different versions of this book. There's the passive version and then the aggressive version. So if you look inside, they'll tell you which book you have right there. And your shop was only given one part of the story, so you have to find out how to acquire the other half of this book, like through eBay or trying to find another comic shop that has the other half. So yeah, they do some weird things, but I mean, it gets people talking, so that's what's so unique about Bad Idea. Which, yeah, what a horrible idea, right? If you want the other issue, You find another state that has this particular comic, right? So I'm sure I'll just, go on eBay and try to find it, but still just kind of random. And then if you got the final 5 sticker where you're committing to these, you could actually mail that in for the second half of this if you needed to, but my shop didn't get that for me because they had me down for like the initial launch, and it was understood I wanted all this stuff, but basically you had to formally request in shop that day and then physically get the sticker or whatever, but it's whatever, I get it. So next we have the lot number 1, same as before, spot gloss on matte. And yeah, this definitely has a more gritty approach to it. Although all the stuff's pretty mature that I've seen from Bad Idea, which is kind of the point. I think it's really set to kind of that adult collector market. I would probably say like mid-range, like 20, 30-year-olds, college kids, that sort of thing. But yeah, I love this. This is like a painted sort of style here. And look, I think even the art switched a little bit too. I think it's different there. But yeah, so this looks interesting. It's all in black and white here. So yeah, this one was releasing every 2 weeks, I think, maybe. And so there's 1, and then there's the lot number 2. And then there is the lot number 3. So that's what those are. Next we've got Tankers number 3, which involves like robots versus dinosaurs. I'm assuming there's oil involved somehow. I haven't read the other ones. I've been so scared to damage them since, like I said, they're so scarce and stuff. I don't want to, bend up my books, but I think the main one I probably won't do that with is just my ENIAC number 1 first printing, which I have one to give for you guys for the 2,000 subscriber giveaway, but I do have a copy for myself too, so I do have a first printing for myself that I'm going to keep pristine. So, but then I had the second printing, or the not first printing as it's called. So yeah, you see this crazy stuff with all this dinosaur action here. And this is just great. I love like Jurassic Park and all that sort of stuff, and this is definitely in the same wheelhouse as that. So next we have Sleigh Bells one shot, which yeah, this is a standalone book, which I think is about a murderous Santa Claus. So yeah, this one is like super stylized. Maybe takes place in the South, as I'm seeing quite a few like hunter type elements and things. But I could be wrong. So maybe this guy here is like the protagonist who rescues everyone from Santa. Here's old Santa there. Next we have ENIAC number 4. Believe this is the last issue in the series. So let's see what we've got. Yeah, I just love the quality of Bad Idea stuff. The paper's top notch, the art's top notch. I'm really glad that I have a shop that is able to show these and sell them and all that good stuff. At one point I might do a more detailed look, but I really don't want to hurt sales and creators and all that sort of stuff. You guys know how considered I am for all that. Next we have Immortal Hulk, number 48. It's almost done. I think it goes to 50. And then it'll be Kate's run, which is where I'm going to hop off, just because I was curious with the premise of the Immortal Hulk. That was my main thing, so. And I read like the preview for the free comic book day and all that. I'm sure Kate's will do fine. I know, like, when I was reading it, he just gave Hulk a normal voice, though. I'm not sure if that's gonna be a transition at the end of this story point or not, but just regular conversational. He didn't have like the broken beast speak type stuff going on, so I was like, man, that's kind of a bummer. And then he's like, oh, I'm going out to space. I'm like, you already did that. So next we've got the Immortal Hulk, number 49. And yeah, this looks like we got text on the sides here. So this might be, yeah, this looks more of a, I don't know, like a prose would be the word maybe? Or just like drawings with the writing on the sides. More like an illustrated book almost. So I think this might be like a catch-up to the final part. A recap, I would say, because yeah, I'm seeing some of the images here, and like, I think he's already done some of this stuff. So I think they want to encourage, that last little bit waiting outside the window who haven't bought Hulk to at least come for the big event. So next we have Gamma Flight number 2. This is spinning out of Immortal Hulk. It's a 5-issue miniseries about Gamma Flight or Alpha Flight after they have been impacted by the Immortal Hulk. And they have been pretty well messed up, I would say. Their team is in shambles. Disfigured and broken and weird and everything else. It has not been a pleasant experience for them, to say the least. But I think they're able to take on bigger threats with how they are now. Oh, I realized too, yeah, Scar, so that's Hulk's son from Planet Hulk. And we have XMen number 1. This is the relaunch, and I'm not even sure what is going on here. I feel like I missed a step somewhere. I think maybe I was supposed to read the planet-size X-Men one-shot, and I didn't. Basically, I know that they voted on having some new members for the main X-Men roster. So now we're not seeing the team from when the series first started with like Wolverine and Jean Grey and Cyclops and all that sort of stuff. So we see like, the X-23 Wolverine and stuff like that. And the other X-Men have continued to kind of take a council leadership type of role. So, but it looks like Jean is still, and I got those two are still there maybe, I don't know. But I certainly feel like I've missed a step, but we'll see. I'll keep reading it, see where it goes. My main thing, like, the X of Swords just kind of bummed me out with how they paced it and stuff. The outcome was fine, but I just didn't like how the tournament stuff was handled. It was like I think a 20-part thing, and 10 of the issues was people getting their swords, and then half the tournament wasn't even actual fighting. Yeah, so here's XMen number 2, and yeah, I won't go all in the inside of that one since you've already seen the art, so you know the style there. Yeah, same art team. So, then we have the Trial of Magneto. This is the Mark Brooks variant. And yeah, I guess Scarlet Witch has been killed, which is pretty crazy. But as you all know, death is not permanent, ever it seems. So it's like, oh no, we'll see you in 4 months. I commended to how, at least whenever Captain America was dead, he stayed dead for maybe a year. It seemed like it was a year. And Epting and Brubaker managed to tell a really compelling story, even with, you know, the backup characters, and push them into the forefront. So, to my understanding, this is basically like a mystery as to how Scarlet Witch dies, and then like Magneto is blamed for it, which Scarlet Witch is his kid, and you know, but they're just like, oh, it's clearly a Magneto. So this puts him at odds with the team again. Okay, so we have the Amazing Spider-Man, the Chameleon Conspiracy. This was probably one of those books that came way back at the beginning of July. Yeah, because I hadn't picked up my books from there since that's the week or the Friday before we went on our vacation. So it was just all about timing, and just it was ridiculous. But most of these two I did get on my previous haul. Basically, I was like, I know that I'm not gonna be in the shop physically, so I actually paid for my stuff over the phone. But then I just wasn't able to go into the shop for a bit. And so I was like, I know myself. I know by the time I'm, you know, able to be in the shop, I probably won't have money, so I'll just take care of it over the phone, and then when I'm in there again, I can get them. So that's what I did. So a lot of these I've been sitting on because I try to organize my books, my reading, based upon what I've shown on the channel or not. So there's maybe been 4 or so books I actually picked up on this haul. And then these others have just been sitting in my bag, waiting for me to read them. So then we got Amazing Spider-Man 70 with some Bagley art. So yeah, then you've got all the Sinister War stuff. So basically like Spider-Man's who's who, his Sinister Six type foes, and then we've got Kingpin in the mix, and then we've got Kindred in the mix. So lots of threats. Lots of high-paced action and all that good sort of stuff. So next I just have a huge cha-cha line of Spider-Man stuff here. So we've got Sinister War #1, and then 71 there. Basically it trades between, you know, the event book and then Amazing. So Sinister War #2, and I think these are all Brian Hitch covers, it looks like. Amazing Spider-Man 72. Sinister War #3. Sinister War #4. And this is something different. So I'm not exactly sure what this is, but it looks like they're trying to do like a mock-up card cover here. So obviously, you know, Spider-Man is a superhero, but I think like this border with a thing there. But yeah, I got this because this is a Gleason cover. It's got a flag on it, so it's this little nice patriotic sort of feel to it. But when you open it up, it's Dark Ages #1. I'm not familiar with what this book is. I'm assuming it's an event series, but I have no clue what it's about. So I just picked this up for the cover. But yeah, so this is some of the insides for you all to look at. So it looks like we have some big threats. We've got Apocalypse in there, which that's interesting if there's, you know, interaction between like Spider-Man and Apocalypse and all this type of stuff. But it looks like it's a full-on everyone together. We see Fantastic Four here. And there's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. We see the Watcher here. Looks like some Eternals. So this promises to be, looks like a pretty intense event or series or whatever. So yeah, it's called Dark Ages, and I think this is where I've seen the promotional art for like corrupted versions of the heroes. But I don't know if it's canon and all that sort of stuff, and you know. But it looks cool, but I just specifically got that one for the cover. So I don't know if I'll pick up the rest, but maybe if I didn't have a huge stack of books, I probably would, but I don't know. So next we have NonStop SpiderMan #4. It looks like he actually faces Zemo in here, which, as I have said, I like that because I don't think he's ever went one-on-one with Baron Zemo before. So, kind of cool. I know he's had run-ins with the Red Skull before. Actually, one of the earlier Spider-Mans that I picked up was the one with him and Taskmaster together on the cover. And I think that was actually my introduction to Taskmaster as well. So, yeah. And I think this is like a mini-series, actually. I think it might have one more part, maybe. I know that it keeps getting delayed. So then we have the last part of Carnage, Black, White, and Blood. And of course the presentation here is the whole thing is done in shades of black, white, and red. Heavy accent on the red. So, and it's just like a bunch of mini stories in here. I don't think that there were any that were just full out. Oh, it looks like they're doing a Deadpool one too. I almost thought that was one of the pages. But yeah, I don't think there's any connecting, like any continuing stories. They're all just one-shot mini anthology pieces. But yeah, look at the detail there. That's insane. Yeah, I'd say the standout was definitely the one where the kid was being abused, and I think that basically Carnage came to the kid somehow, and I think he killed the dad, and then like he was trying to keep Spider-Man like tortured in his barn or some weird thing. But I think that was the one that I thought was the most interesting out of all of them. And this was one I was worried I was gonna miss, and I came back and I got it. So this is Demon Days Mariko. This is the J. Scott Campbell cover. So yeah, this is the heavily Japanese culture inspired miniseries by Peach Momoko. So it's all done with like watercolor, and it's just really interesting and unique, and just not something you would typically see, especially out of a Marvel comic. And so they've kind of done some reimagining of costumes and just kind of inserting them into this setting, and it's been interesting. I like it. So if you haven't picked them up, I certainly recommend them. And then we got the next one, which came out more recently. This is Demon Days Cursed Web. This is the Frisson variant, I believe. Let's see. Yes. So yeah, this says part 2. I'm not sure why it says part 2 and the other one was what it was, but I mean, I looked in the back and it tells you which one's expecting next. And yeah, so that's what it showed. So hopefully I didn't miss another one. And so here we see and hear some more X-Men type people, Sabretooth and Mystique. Yeah, and then in the back, the next one doesn't come out until December, so prime your pumps. Yeah, I think this thing right here, Darkhold, is somehow linked to that Dark Ages book. So yeah, in the back too, it shows a bit of the cultural inspiration for elements in the book too, so really cool. Like how Stan Sakai does that too with his Yasagi Ojimbo stuff, so really nice. And this one was one that I got for the cover. You gotta have your shark there, so good. But I still haven't seen the movie yet. But they were giving out, I don't know if it's the same book just without the card stock on it, but I think it was AMC theaters were giving out a version of this cover on, I don't know if it was Suicide Squad book or Harley Quinn #6, but they were giving this out at AMC theaters, I believe. So I will show off some insides. Looks like her costume here, they've just straight up adopted it from how it's been presented in Batman recently. It's nice whenever a artist reinvents a look and then it's just kind of carried over. I still like the original, the Batman animated suit on her, but this is fine. I like this better than the original Suicide Squad look, and it's certainly better than when she has like the gold jacket with the tassels and all that. I didn't care for that too much, but this is a happy medium here. So we see Dr. Hugo Strange there. Like Scarecrow too. Yeah, I think this might somehow be linked to the Fear State series. It's right here. Let me see. I think, yeah, everything is. So, yeah, number 6, this is part of it. Which pretty much every Batman book, even stuff that doesn't make sense to be linked to it, will be. So I saw even like that future Batman stuff is going to be too. And then we have the, yeah, this was still sitting in there. This was issue 6, the last part of the Fortnite 0 point thing. And this is the normal cover, I believe. Yep. So there's that. Now I will show off my collectibles here. So, yeah, the first one was an impulse buy that the shop was like, hey, we have this. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So we've got the Savage Dragon figure here. This is the battle damaged one, which the other one has him in like his normal police officer outfit. And then you can switch this hand out with a damaged hand. So this is the battle damaged Savage Dragon, which, and then it came with this little comic here, which this was like in the box still, but it's all wrinkled up, so I've got to find a way to flatten it out. So interesting enough, this is a Simon Bisley cover on here. I think Eric Larson maybe did the inks on it. And then the inside, I don't think the inside is Bisley too. I think the inside might just be Eric Larson. I'm not sure. But yeah, just a little mini comic, and we see the turtles are in this weird, these reimagined 90s cybernetic ultra outfits here. So I'm not sure if each figure had its own mini comic or they all had the same mini comic or not. And then here's the figures here. So I remember there was a kid on my school bus. I think he had the normal one. And then here's the others. And then, yeah, look at how weird those Ninja Turtles look. Which for some reason Leonardo is not included. But yeah, so this is how Jim Lee imagined them. I guess he imagined them without a leader, so. And then I'll show you real quick. This is the back of the box. So they even show the photo picture of all of them, except for it on the inside. Next we got the nice big McFarlane clown here, which I've never owned a clown figure, so I was excited to finally get this. This is very detailed. He's got this big, huge weapon here with him too, just to kind of add an element of a threat to him. Like, he would have been fine by himself. But I'm so surprised, like, this is so huge. Like, it came in a size box that was like the actual size of, you know, the box that it came in. Like, they were both the same size, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be like half that or something. But no, this is the full thing. But I was surprised that Todd didn't wait and do his Kickstarter with this one. His next one, he said before, is gonna be his medieval Spawn. So next we have the Bazooka Joe soda. I got 2 of them. Unfortunately, they were both the commons, but he's nice anyway. The Chase one, he actually just has like a big old piece of bubble gum, like a big bubble on the front of his face there. I got the Neo Common, and this is actually the international one. This is before I told you I got 2 of these, of the Chase ones. So this is the common one. And even the Pog too, right there. But yeah, the can is also different to distinguish it as international. So if you get it overseas, all the cans look like this, and if you got it in America, all the cans look like this. And the count is different too, so this is like the rarer version of the common. Weird, right? So I'm glad I got that. But the guy was cool, and basically he hooked me up with not just what I was asking for. So he's like, oh, since it's a Chase, I wouldn't feel right if I just gave you, you know, the single pop since it's a common. So he hooked me up with 3 sodas actually. So yeah, he also got me a common tick. And there's the little pog in there. And the Chase is just a metallic version of him. And then he got me a Sonic. My Sonic is kind of put away, so I'm not going to grab him. But the Sonic one is really cool too. Alright, on to part 2 here. So this is from my local shop. First we got Superman, Superman 78, number 1. So this is continuing the Christopher Reeves Superman. So, and then we see a nice tribute here to Richard Donner. He was like the director, and I think he maybe have even, I don't know if he wrote the first couple movies too, but he had a huge, like his vision was very much a part of what helped make that movie good. And the second one, they actually have like an alternative version, which he made, which is considered the superior version of Superman 2. So check that out if you haven't seen it. So yeah, the art's pretty good. It captures, you know, the elements and facial features and stuff for sure. Just wish it wasn't like a bit scratchy, kind of like the kind of jutted lines. But regardless of that, I'm excited to see this narrative continuing. You know, that Superman is very much just a great version of the character. I love this Metallo too. He's very much reminiscent of like the, I want to say this, like the Superpowers toy and stuff. Yeah, I see the likeness of Reeves is there, but it's not 100% on. Which might be for legal reasons, I don't know. So next we have Alien number 6. This cover here. I'm pretty sure that astronaut there is not going to make it. So yeah, this continues on to be a superior book, like art quality wise and stuff. And yeah, it's been really good. I've been enjoying it. I don't have the same experience as quite a few other people with it who have, you know, been reading whenever it was through Dark Horse and stuff. I'm not sure if they're all on board with it. I know like the alien queen was shown to be kind of humanoid looking, and so there was a lot of backlash with that. But yeah, see right there. So I'm not sure why or rather, I'm not sure if how like the hardcore alien comic collectors feel about it or not. And we have Superman, Son of Kal-El, number 2. And this is continuing on, obviously, with Superman's kid being the main Superman. And yeah, it looks good. Lots of energy here. Good artwork. Clean coloring here, very vivid. So I definitely, you know, I love and appreciate the magic of the traditional books, but this book definitely feels that you know, they're marrying all the elements together of what, you know, current printing and comic book making technology can do here. Everything blends well together is what I'm trying to say. Like if you put the new style of coloring on old comics, it just doesn't look right. It looks off. But for that one, that works with the new style. So next we have Batman Fear State Alpha. So if you'll notice here, Federici. He has been doing covers quite a bit, those nice painted covers, and he did the penciled covers. And so he has done all the interiors here. He had someone else color over it here. I think Chris Sotomayor. But yeah, I'm glad to see him doing interiors. Hopefully it was well worth it for him. I know that interiors are usually not paid out as much as the covers. Sometimes covers get close to what the interior of a book makes, but it's nice to see him try his hand at full sequential here. Like, this is really nice. On his Instagram and stuff, he does show some of the pages. He shows a video of him like actually penciling and doing some cross hatching. So my only gripe is we miss out on some of that finer detail with it being colored over. I mean, this certainly looks nice, but if you saw the raw pencil art, I think it would be more impressive because you can see all of his fine lines and cross hatching and all that sort of stuff. So, which if you see his Insta, you can see a bit more of that. Next we have Batman Reptilian, number 3. So yeah, this continues on just to be its own thing. It's very unique, very different, reminiscent of 90s prestige format books. And so yeah, it's fun. And this is a new threat here. This isn't a Killer Croc story or anything like that. I think even in the previous issue they showed somehow where Killer Croc was affected, but obviously he wasn't the main threat. And then we have Detective Comics 1042. The Bermejo covers continue. Still no end in sight. So yeah, Batman has been possessed by some sort of parasite here. So that's why his eyes are glowing. This guy here, see, there's like this weird parasitic thing in him. A virus that spreads and feeds off of murder and hate. See? So, kind of crazy. But, regardless, interesting to see. Almost looks like a Cthulhu thing here. Just hanging out of his face. Okay, next we have, this is Batman Superman number 21. And I love this cover mainly because right here, it's like Robin is excited he's driving the Batmobile. And I don't think that Batman looks too thrilled about it, honestly. So yeah, this is continuing on. This is like how Batman and Superman looked back in the day. And this archivist here has managed to capture them in his like film strip world here and just kind of do whatever he wants to do to them. And so he is trying to keep them from destroying his masterpiece film here, more or less. And so we're seeing elements here of like the film strip and stuff, and catching on fire. Just lots of little fun details. Countering Etrigan. And then they continued it on through the Batman Superman annual. And as you note here, yeah, this is the Francavalla cover. It is double-sided. Right there. And based upon which side you're on, there is a separate story. So this one is about Batman on this side. There, and then flip it over this way, and you have Superman on this side. So I thought this was a really fun way to present this story. Look at that, we see Superman interacting with the Commission. This is obviously some Francavalla work here. I think I'm pronouncing his name right, I hope. Oh, Francavilla, I'm sorry. And then in the middle, both stories meet. See? So that's pretty cool. I'm not sure if this is how the whole thing wraps. I mean, if you look at that middle, it doesn't say the end. But I am unsure. But a unique format, to say the least. Next, we have Action Comics 1034. This is continuing on with the next level threat of these aliens that were slaves to Mongrel, and these guys might actually help work for Mongrel. But I see they have the chains too. But yeah, I've been liking the artwork and everything has been good, and the story's been interesting, so been enjoying it. There are times when a story falls flat. I don't think that this is one of those times, so. And then we have our last leg here. So, first we have King Spawn #1. So this starts a brand new monthly book. I believe this is brand new monthly featuring Spawn. And so Todd was doing pre-orders where I think if you ordered, I don't even know. I think if you ordered 100 copies, you get a signed copy, which was like a black and white variant that he signed. And they've been going for maybe $800 or so on eBay, I think. Something crazy like that. So what started off at him being around 225 copies, as soon as he made more people aware of it, shops got, I think he signed maybe upwards of 1,000 copies of that particular book. So kind of crazy. It's still cool though, it's still limited. I'm fortunate enough to have already met Todd and got his signature on a couple things. So, and one of these days, in a bigger giveaway, I'll probably throw in a signed Todd book. But for now, we gotta get to 2,000 so we can give away the Walt and Louise Simonson signed X-Men Legends in the ENIAC first printing #1. And that's going to be open to everyone since it's just 2 items and not like a big stack like I like to do sometimes. So that's pretty gruesome there. So yeah, this is a big collection of stories. Here we see Haunt back in the mix. Some big things happening there. Just all sorts of different characters and elements. Right now I feel like Todd is kind of firing on all cylinders. He's been rejuvenated, and here's the gunslinger here. He's been rejuvenated and he's just excited, and he's really just kind of embracing on his fans and stuff. So yeah, see here's some more Year of the Spawn. We have Gunslinger 1 and Scorched 1 coming in October and December there. So nice little interview in the back. So that's that one. And they did a bunch of covers for it. So I also got the Sean Gordon Murphy cover, because how could I not? And then we have, at first I thought that this was another variant of King Spawn 2. This is Spawn 321. And this is Todd's cover, obviously. I wonder if they did one by this artist here. He's been doing these. Well, I guess it's probably on the back of the other one. I was like, oh, I'm going to need to track it down so I can see that image. And like, it might be on the back of my other comic. So we see She-Spawn here moving to the forefront, and they've been hinting at, pretty sure this guy here is actually the new medieval Spawn. Basically, Spawn keeps showing up, and the armor itself keeps showing up as empty. Like, medieval Spawn was killed, if I remember correctly. And then there's been times where he's been out and doing stuff, and then Spawn was like, why was his stuff here and there was no body? Someone explained this to me, and he was like the only guy around, but he had no recollection or anything. But I'm pretty sure they're saying he is the medieval Spawn. I don't know that they've revealed that plot point or not. I don't think they have. And then Billy Kincaid is coming back to, I think King Spawn number 2 has him in it, which he was the creepy ice cream pervert guy from Spawn number 4. Which I'm sure quite a few of you remember if you follow Spawn. Next we have Turtles 120, Eastman variant as always. And yeah, so they are, I think, trying to protect April. I think Baxter put out a hit on her or something. And so we just kind of have like a growing army of mutanimals here. And they're trying to do a bit of insurrection against Old Hob, I believe. But the biggest piece is Shredder's ghost. Keeps randomly popping up. So he's going to be coming back in a big way. And all of like the celestial god siblings are coming back into the fray too. So next we have Robin number 5. This one's not the variant either. Well, that's okay. So this is continuing on. Damien is having his tournament at the Lazarus Island, I believe. And they're just kind of getting him psyched and ready. And I think he was training with Ra's al Ghul. And then as you can see now, all of his previous Bat family has linked back up with him here. looks like Dawn of Justice is on Blu-ray now. That's good. 506 here, Infinity Frontier. So yeah, this continues to just kind of be its own thing, but I think, as I've said, this will set up the new framework for DC. And it's just kind of quietly happening. If you're not reading this, you're not really full aware of it. I am reading it, and I'm not fully aware of it. So DC always tends to be a bit more, I think, intellectual and convoluted in kind of their overall universe structuring, I guess, which is fine, but it's not something I'm used to wrapping my head around. It's interesting Joker in that yellow lantern there. The Injustice Incarnate. So yeah, are elements of injustice making their way into this, or is that just like another form of like supervillain squad sort of, you know? And we have Berserker number 4. And this is still continuing to trace the history of the main character here. And I think he's slowly trying to come out and maybe push back and make his own choices. In the previous thing, I think they're trying to brief him or whatever, and they're just like, oh, we lost 2 more or whatever in the battlefield. And then he kind of had some pushback, and, you know, they were not too happy against that. So he might end up going off and doing his own thing as he slowly tries to remember more about himself. The book is basically like he's been around forever, fighting wars and stuff. So we have Inkblot number 12. And yeah, we have Inkblot number 12. Yeah, this is a fun, innocent book. And not much more I can really say about it. If you like cute cats, this is your book. And I did find out, so Emma Kubert is actually related to the other Kuberts. She's one, I'm trying to remember if she's Andy or Adam's kid. She's one of their kids, though. So she is part of the lineage of the comic book Kuberts. So that's pretty cool. Alright, well that's gonna do it for now. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and as always, you all have a super slumber. Thanks. Bye.